So many people make the wrong decisions when they are going to hire their first person for their business, and it can really cost them a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of momentum when they're moving forward. Typically, when you are ready to hire someone, it means that you have a lot of traction happening in your business. And if you hire the wrong person or don't have the correct systems to bring on the right person and turn them into the right person, then you're going to lose a lot of time and money. There's a few things to recognize, first of all, when it is the right time to bring on a new person. So if you're feeling like you're absolutely swamped with work, like you're missing chances to expand, having to turn away clients, say no to different opportunities, and ultimately struggling to maintain any semblance of work-life balance, it's probably time for you to think about hiring another team member. But it's not always necessarily what you think you need, and a lot of people will make the wrong decision when it comes to hiring their first team member. There's a lot of different costs and benefits when it comes to adding a team member, but ultimately you need that team member to actually facilitate an increase in revenue for you. So if that team member is going to allow you to bring on more clients, or they're going to close sales for you, or they're going to dive into your marketing, right? If they are going to be directly correlated to increasing revenue, then it's probably the right decision to make. That being said, if you're bringing on a team member that is not going to be related to revenue, it's maybe not the best time to bring on them as your first hire. It's important to understand what the first position is that you should fill, and you really need to pinpoint the role that's going to make the biggest difference for you. So I want you to first and foremost go ahead and brain dump everything that you do throughout the week. All of the important tasks, from client management to marketing to systems development to offer development, it doesn't matter what it is, you need to brain dump all of that. What I'm looking for here is, one, what are you actually doing in a week? What are the tasks that need to happen on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis to continue to have the business moving forward? And then I'm also curious to see what tasks don't need to get done but are falling by the wayside. The next thing you're going to do is kind of organize those tasks into different umbrellas or departments. So we've got marketing, sales, and internal operations are usually the key ones that you're going to have. And when you're looking at those, what we need to see is what places in the business can you actually not be taken out of. So that could be things like marketing, that could be certain delivery elements of your offers, but we need to know what are all the things that you have to do versus what are the things that could potentially be given to somebody else. Now, that doesn't mean that you're immediately going to outsource everything in your business that isn't having to be done by you, but we do want to have an idea so that we can actually map out 2 to 3 moves ahead so that we know who your first hire is going to be, and also what the game plan is for you to continue to scale and bring on additional people in the future. So where we talked about that first hire should be directly related to revenue increasing, that's going to be key in facilitating these future hires that you might want to have. Typical first hires are either some sort of administrative assistant, a salesperson, or a marketing expert. But I want to talk you through kind of the pros and cons to each so that what to steer clear from, or what issues potentially you could have that you could circumvent. So first and foremost, with an admin person, a lot of people will dive into doing that first because there's a lot of client communication, there's a lot of nitty-gritty behind the scenes things that need to happen, and they think that if they could offload some of that, then it could free up time for marketing. Now, that could be true. However, a lot of times people will hire an admin person way too soon simply because they don't really have decent systems and automations happening in their business. So before you think about hiring one of those people, what I want you to do is really make sure that your systems and automations are dialed in so that you're not hiring for something that could actually be taken care of by Zapier or streamlining a process in a little bit more efficient way. Number 2 is a salesperson. Now, no closer is going to close as well as the founder because absolutely nobody, no matter what training you give them, is going to have the same depth of understanding, excitement, and passion about your business as you do. So if you are someone who is thinking that, hey, maybe I should hire a salesperson because I'm not good at sales, that is wrong. You need to be good at sales because you need to be able to train and improve upon the skills and the way that they're explaining your offers and business to your potential clients and customers. A sales team is and having sales skills is one thing that you really can't avoid as a founder. So if you're thinking you're going to pawn that off simply because you're not good at it, that's not the right way to go. You need to develop those skills in order to be an effective leader for bringing a salesperson onto your team. And then the third thing is marketing. Same thing with sales. If you're not good at marketing, you're not going to have a good experience no matter who you bring on. Because if you, as the founder, if you don't have a clear vision and understanding of your ideal audience and everything about them, their psychology, and exactly what they need from you, it's going to be very hard for you to set the path and the vision for this marketing expert that you bring on. So marketing and sales are ultimately unavoidable that you need to have. That being said, if you're good at marketing and you're good at sales, then it might be the perfect time to bring on one of those team members to free up time, and you can work in tandem and essentially give yourself back time in the day. There's a difference between the two different ways that you can actually bring someone onto your team. There's outsourcing or there's hiring internally. Now, outsourcing is where you're going to contract with an independent contractor or potentially an agency to facilitate the services that you need to have done. Now, of course, hiring somebody internal is a little bit more of a bigger responsibility, and it's a full-time commitment, obviously, for that person to be brought on into your business. So you need to make sure that you have enough revenue and that you're setting up their pay structure in a way that it's going to fluctuate with the revenue and cash flow of the business. Now, the other thing to make sure that you're steering clear from is wrapping yourself with an agency, especially with things as careful and important as marketing and sales. If you're going to outsource that to a third party, that's a very dangerous position to be in, because if their business goes down, oftentimes so does yours. So marketing and sales are two things that I would not necessarily outsource. I would actually bring somebody in internally, have that working within your business. Now, admin and things of that nature, those can very easily be outsourced to an independent contractor, and that's what I would recommend doing first if you are somebody who really feels like you just need to be given back some time in the day and you have systems and automations in place that are not going to negate the need for this other person. Now, the next thing that it's super important to have a good understanding of is the difference between delegating tasks and delegating responsibility. And this is probably the biggest mistake that I see founders make at all different levels in all different industries when they begin hiring and building a team. It's one thing to give somebody a list of tasks and then babysit them and make sure that they're doing them and be the one overseeing it. It is quite another thing to delegate the responsibility of a certain department or task within your business. So when you're delegating responsibility, that person is able to take a little bit more control over the role. They're able to take ownership and they answer to you for the results of that department and the ability to move the business forward. Delegating just tasks and giving somebody a to-do list is not necessarily going to give you back the time that you need. So if you're going to delegate responsibility, which is what you should be doing, you need to ensure that you have, and this leads me to my next point, really dialed in team management systems and an onboarding process to allow you to really effectively hire and train a team member in a way that's not going to derail your entire business. The platform that I recommend for this is ClickUp. This is what we use for all of our team headquarters to manage our team, to manage our clients, to manage tasks, content, you name it. Everything that we do is housed inside of ClickUp. ClickUp is really awesome, and you can use it as a tool for onboarding and create some pre-done templates that you need your new hires to go through, the different tasks that they need to complete, the different things that you need to grant them access to, etc. And you can have that all housed in one place so that as you continue to grow and bring on team members, it's a very smooth process so that everybody's getting all of the information that they need, the contracts they need to sign, the necessary training, and everything is in one place so that you don't have to think about it, and it's a really seamless process. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you're setting up automations and assignments within ClickUp to ensure that nothing is getting lost. So you want to make sure that you're automating different tasks and recurring reminders so that when there are things that you need people to consistently do, you're able to just look inside ClickUp and to monitor the progress, monitor time tracked without having to go chase that person down and see what they've been doing. So ClickUp should really be, or any project management tool should really be where you go to get that peace of mind rather than having to chase down that team member, and it's going to save you a lot of time as well. The last thing that I'll say in terms of hiring is that the mindset that I take is never that I want to train somebody to do things the way I do it or that I want them to be able to do it as good as me. I want somebody who's going to be better than me. So I look to hire up rather than to hire somebody and try to drag them up to my level. So whether it's admin, sales, marketing, I want to hire somebody who is better at that thing than I am so that they can up level me rather than me trying to mold them into a mini me of myself. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Good luck on hiring your first team member. It's such an exciting step in your growth. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and my DMs are always open if you want to chat about this or anything else. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.